Meantime, right now, Michigan State Police are looking for a driver who hit and killed a man on I-94 near Galesburg. Police say the 71-year-old from Battle Creek was pulled over because he was having car trouble. Then he was hit and killed. News Channel 3's Allie Jenner-John joins us live near I-94 in Kalamazoo County with the latest in this investigation. Allie.
Yeah, right now police don't have a description of the vehicle involved in a deadly hit and run along eastbound I-94 about a mile away from here. They are asking local body shops and local residents to keep an eye out for any vehicles that have front end damage or passenger side damage or even black paint on the car. Also tonight, the victim's family is calling on the suspect to step up. Norma Burton says she got a call last night from Michigan State Police asking to talk to her about 71-year-old William Pinson. Then troopers arrived at her home.
I was rushing to the door, but I also had my phone in the hand trying to call him to see why is the state police coming here asking about him. That's just how we were, And so, and I didn't get him, of course. And so when I did get to the door, I found out why.
Police say a driver in an unknown vehicle sideswiped Pinson's pickup truck last night. It happened on eastbound I-94 near mile marker 87 in Charleston Township. Investigators say the impact pushed the truck into Pinson. He died at the scene. Police say the driver who sideswiped his pickup kept driving.
Something like this happened, that somebody just left him on the road. Because I feel like if they hadn't, he might still be alive.
Burton was married to Pinson for 4 years.
Bill, he was a really good guy.
They divorced in 2010, but she says they remained close friends, business partners, and co-parents. MSP says it's searching for the driver and any vehicles in the area with front or passenger side damage.
I hope they realize that they're the one that actually did this, and I hope they have the heart and the spirit to turn themselves in. I would not have as much blame if they'd have stopped to try to help, but they didn't.
Now, Burton tells me that Pinson was a veteran, so his family is considering burying him at Fort Custer National Cemetery. Also, anyone with any information about the accident or the driver or the vehicle is being encouraged to reach out to Michigan State Police.
Continuing our coverage of the homeless crisis and push for more affordable housing in Kalamazoo. One initiative, the Lift Foundation's Lodge House project, is now moving forward with the next steps to create 60 housing units this spring.
News Channel 3's Lexi Petrovich is live at the former Nights Inn Motel, where these units will be located. Lexi, project leaders say priority will be given to applicants who are currently experiencing homelessness, and applications are becoming available as early as today.
Good morning. That's correct. Each of these 60 units will become available as early as today, and this entire project is expected to be completed by April. Now, there are different housing initiatives that are aimed towards housing larger families and larger groups, but this project here is specifically focused on housing smaller groups, so 1 to 2 people at most. And officials say that there is a need for some of this here in Kalamazoo. Now, because every person's situation is different, the price of each unit will be dependent on an individual's personal and financial circumstances. Now, officials say their hope with this is that the application process will be easier and more accessible. The project is following a housing first approach. That means it's prioritizing providing permanent housing to those experiencing homelessness. This approach looks to offer more flexibility to a person's individual needs. So, for example, it doesn't require applicants to address their issues such as behavioral health problems or graduate through a series of services before they can access housing.
We are looking at overcoming many of those traditional barriers. That's why even at Lodge House, integrated services is there on staff to help people overcome some of those things. And it could be addiction, mental health challenges, those kinds of things.
Officials say they have raised $182,000 of their $2.5 million project goal so far, but they are hopeful that between several key funding requests and ongoing fundraising that they will reach that number, and they don't foresee any delays in the upcoming opening date. Now, that funding goal looks to cover future costs as well, including ongoing operating and maintenance costs that may come up in the future, and that money is being raised by community groups and people's individual donations, not any government funding. On our website, I'll have a link to that application, so you can find that there, as well as a link if you're interested in contributing to this project. You can find both of those on WWMT.com.
911 audio recordings reveal the suspect in a Portage double fatal stabbing, telling dispatchers he stabbed the two men in self-defense.
Police say 49-year-old Maurice Pearson and his son died from their injuries. For the first time tonight, we're hearing from the victim's daughter and sister who witnessed the stabbing. Our Mike Kravsik joins us live from the Davis Creek apartment complex to break down the chain of events, Mike, that led up to this deadly encounter.
Yeah, Kate and Erica, Tamari Pearson says her father and brother both rushed into her apartment looking for the father of her two children. Minutes after she called 911, she returned to the living room to see her family members covered in blood. They both died at the hospital. Prosecutors say they're still reviewing if they'll file charges in this case. Tamari Pearson says she was working from home with her two kids in the other room Monday when some unexpected visitors showed up.
We didn't expect my dad to pull up. We didn't know we thought it was my sister.
She says her 49-year-old father, Maurice Pearson, and 21-year-old brother, Xavier, came to confront the father of her children, who was inside the apartment.
He bum rushed me, and then he got on top of him and then started punching him real hard. My brother came in, I honestly thought my dad was going to kill that man.
Pearson says she ran into the other room, emerging minutes later. She calls 911.
There's blood all over. My dad and my brother are both hurt. My dad and my brother are both hurt.
So does the suspect.
He's dying. He's dying. Right now.
He tells dispatchers he was defending himself from an attack.
I think I stabbed him in his chest. I don't know. I just stabbed wherever I could because I was getting jumped.
Within 4 minutes later, officers arrived.
Put your hands. Get out here right now.
Police today say the initial autopsy results show both men died from multiple sharp force wounds. Prosecutors say they're requesting more information from police as they review the case. The father of Pearson's children, who police identified as a suspect, was released from custody yesterday.
I'm not defending him. I'm just saying, none of that should have happened.
Police were called out to the apartment complex the day before the fatal stabbing. Pearson says the suspect's car tire was slashed and that he stayed the night at her apartment. Police say 2 days prior to the killing, Pearson's sister calls 911.
I just got assaulted by a black man, my sister's boyfriend.
Police never filed any charges. Pearson says she believes the dispute started over a misunderstanding. The suspect told dispatchers in that 911 call that he used a knife to stab both men. Pearson tells us that she wasn't aware that anyone had any weapons on him inside that apartment. No one else inside that apartment was injured.